Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm back with another book tag video, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year. And just so you know, I originally did it last year, but wanted to do a new version for 2018. And I will have the link below in the description, including the link to my original video that I did, and including the questions. So getting started on the questions, the first one is, best book you've read so far in 2018? Well, some of the books I've read so far this year are really good. I was really impressed by the books, and some of them made me want even more, and some of them were like, okay. But I read a lot of good books, and it was kind of hard to pick like what was the best book so far. I mean, I actually did have a video recently about all my favorite best books, but some of the books that I really enjoyed was Paradox Bound by Peter Clines. And this was a book that was super fun, and there was time travel. And if you like books where characters go on a road trip and lots of speed action and just like car chases and pretty much like all around like America, it's pretty much really good, and I really enjoyed it. I also actually have a book review on this one, so in case you would decide to want to check it out. Another book that I actually really enjoyed was Head On by John Scalzi, and it was really funny. It was futuristic, a future world where it's like a murder mystery going on with a fictional, having to do with like a fictional sport that takes place called Head On, which is really interesting. And if you're interested in like books, movies, or something like that, like The Surrogates, it's kind of like that kind of futuristic world. I actually have a video on this one, just in case you decide to check it out yourself. On to the next question is, best sequel you've read so far in 2015? One of the books that I actually really liked, I read a lot of sequels, not a huge lot, but I have a couple of sequels that I really enjoyed this year. The one that I felt like was the one that I recently was blown out of the water was Ruin and Rising. And I know it didn't really come out in 2018, but it was a book that I really liked. And it was way better than the second one, Siege and Storm, which was alright. I mean, it was still good, but this one was like, wow, there's more action in this one, and I like the characters and how things ended in the whole book and all. And if you haven't read the series yet of the Grisha trilogy, I do have a review on the first book, Shadow and Bone, and it's really good. The next question is, new release you haven't read yet but want to. There's a lot of new releases that came out this year that I'm super behind on, and I can't believe that it's like half the year so far and I still have so many books to read. But some of the books that I missed out on is True Truth on Blood and Bone, that I heard so much about, and I heard it's like kind of similar like to Black Panther. And another book that I really wanted to read was Immortalist, and I think there was like a lot of magic involved. And I also missed the last book in the Rebel of the Sand series, the book Legendary by Stephanie Garber, which is a sequel to Caraval. I also haven't read Wicked Deep, Zenith by Sasha Alsberg. There's so many books, but you know, like so little time, and I'm pretty much all over the place. So yeah, hopefully I'll get used to them for during the summer, and then I can be ready for the fall. The next question is, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. The one book that I'm really excited about, I mean, there's so many books I'm excited, but the one that I'm super pumped up for is Cassandra Clare's next book for the Dark Artifices series. I think it's called The Queen of Air and Shadows. It's like the third book, and I'm super excited about that one. It's come close to my birthday, so I'm gonna like pre-order it, so that way it's like a futuristic birthday present for me, because I love the series and I love everything about Cassandra Clare's writing, and I love Shadowhunter world, so I can't wait. Next question is, biggest disappointment. Didn't really read so many biggest disappointments this year. I mean, some books were alright, but I wasn't really overly disappointed, except for one book, and that is A Wrinkle in Time. I read that book thinking it was going to be a really good book from what I've seen on TV. I heard so much about that book, and the fact that it did turn into a movie, I expected more, and I was really bored. I was bored, didn't like the characters. I felt like it was way too young for me, and just couldn't relate. Next question is, biggest surprise. I was really big surprised that A Wrinkle in Time was not really well liked by me. I didn't think it was going to be a disappointment. I thought I would like that one, but it was not something that I was really into. So that's the only major surprise. I mean, other than that, I wasn't really surprised for most of the books that I read. So next question is, favorite new author. I do have a few new authors. I mean, I don't have a whole lot because I mostly just read from authors that I've read from so far. But recently I really liked Ernest Cline, who wrote Ready Player One. I also really like Lee Bardugo even more than I used to last year. I mean, I I fell in love with her from Six of Crows, but now she is a favorite author of mine because after a Christian trilogy, and so now I know like this is her writing. Next question is newest fictional crush. I have a big huge crush on Nikolai. I fell in love with him in the second book, A Siege and Storm from the Grisha trilogy, and he was super funny. He made me laugh. He also made me smile, and also loved the way he talks, the way he acts, and the way he pretty much made up the whole story even better. I mean, I think without him, it pretty much like wouldn't be as great of a series as it was. I mean, it was really good, but he kind of stepped it up. And also like the character, I pretty much fell in love with him, and he's hot. I mean, at least in the book, he seems very attractive, and somehow I wish that things were different between the love story, I guess, in the book. But you know, more for me. Next question is newest favorite character. Other than Nikolai, of course, was my favorite character. I also recently got a chance to read the part of the Hungry Cities Chronicles, and I was reading the Mortal Engines, and the two characters, Tom Nasworthy and Hester Shaw, became two of my favorite characters recently. I really like the way they are. I like the way they interact and how they have a strong bond with each other, and how they like pretty much year two they didn't go off in the right part on the first book at first, but they became really good friends, and they became more than friends, and I like the way that they support each other. Next question is book that made you cry. Sadly, not yet. There is no book that made me cry. I pretty much was kind of like felt sad in most of the books sometimes I read, but I didn't really get to crying in any way. I was mostly like just happy. Next question is book that made me happy. Pretty much all the books I read that I really liked made me happy. I pretty much was really happy with reading the Grisha trilogy when Nikolai showed up. I also really enjoyed Ready Player One, and also I recently read Slay by Matthew Lawrence, which was the sequel in the Freya trilogy, and that is a series that you should check out. I have a review on it on my blog, and it will make you like laugh, and they have like funny characters, and it's like a Norse mythology mixture in it, so it's really good. Next question is favorite book to film adaptations you saw this year. None. I haven't seen a book to movie adaptation this year. I've read books that are made into a movie this year. I read Ready Player One. I read Mortal Engines. I still have yet to read other ones that I wanted to read. I pretty much have read A Wrinkle in Time, but I don't see myself watching the movie, so I'm pretty much behind on that. Next question is favorite review you've written this year, or Booktube version favorite video you have done so far this year. I've done so many. I think like one of the ones that I felt like was doing the best, which I actually have coming up on this channel soon, is the Mortal Engines, and I feel like I pretty much like was talking a lot of the good points of it, and usually there's some things that I wish there was like a little different, but I really enjoyed doing that video. Next question is most beautiful book you bought so far this year. I personally have not been buying that many books. I bought so many books, but I don't know if it will count as like the most beautiful ones. I mean, they were all okay. They're alright. I mean, it's not like my favorite ones. Most of the books, they're okay. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I pretty much have a lot of books. Let's see. I want to read The Queen of Air and Shadows, Smoke and Iron, which is coming out soon from Rachel Kane from the Great Library Trilogy, Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I really want to read, finish The Handmaid's Tale, finish at least part of some of the books of the Game of Thrones series. I also would like to finish the Harry Potter series. I also want to finish, I would like to read Winter Song and then read the second one. I still need to read Scythe from Neil Schusterman. I also really need to read Children of Blood and Bone, Zenith by Sasha Alsberg. I also want to read books from all my favorite YouTubers. Pretty much so I have a long list. So that's pretty much all the questions I have for today. Let me know in the comments below what you thought, and are there so many books that you have it on your TBR list that you must read by the end of this year? Let me know about that. And if you enjoyed this video, do click on thumbs up. And if you want to check out more book tags, do subscribe because I'd love to have you there. So until next time, keep on reading.